Let's move on. The merger of HDFC Limited and HDFC Bank may become effective from the 1st of July, and the HDFC stock is expected to delist from the 13th of July. Sriram Velayudhan, the Vice President at IIFL Alternate Research, IIFL Securities, is now with us on the show. Sriram, the big question now is who will replace HDFC Limited in the key indices? And your thoughts, the name, and how have you arrived at that?
Hi, Ima. Very good morning.
Good morning.
HDFC and HDFC Bank merger has been a key event both from a special situation merger perspective and index reval as well. And now that we are nearing the completion of this event, market will shift its focus to stocks that are likely to replace HDFC Limited from the key indices like Nifty 50, Sensex 30, and how the impact would be in MSCI India. We have done some analysis. We have been closely tracking this event because there is a good deal of repositioning that can be done in these names. So in case of Nifty 50, we expect LTIMindtree, which is LTIM, to be the strongest candidate at this point in time to replace HDFC. While in case of Sensex, we expect JSW Steel to get added in place of HDFC Limited. Now coming to MSCI India, as we all know, in the month of May, the index provider came out with a very important announcement so as to avoid the challenge of a reverse turnover. So with HDFC Bank expected to get added with an adjustment factor of half in place of HDFC Limited, we expect this event to be largely a neutral event because it might lead to mild sell flows of 255 million odd. Because passive managers, they just will have to, act on this part. There is no requirement on the MSCI passive trackers to do the adjustments. The entitlement of HDFC Limited itself will provide them access to HDFC Bank as on the effective date. So in terms of a net outflow, which amounts to $255 million, it's not that big.
All right. Hi, Sriram. Good morning. Nigel on this side. Sriram, LTIMindtree we're watching out for, and JSW Steel. There would be some pre-positioning, right? What kind of flows are you estimating? If this happens, what kind of inflows could it see into both these two stocks?
Sure. Hi, Nigel. Good morning. So in case of LTIM, we are expecting inflows of roughly $166 million, which is 7 days ADV. And on JSW Steel's addition in Sensex, we expect this to be an inflow event of $160 million, which is roughly 5 days of impact.
Okay. Got it. All right. Sriram, the other question that we keep getting is, what about DMart? The criteria it's not being met currently. It's not part of F&O, so it can't come into the Nifty. But whenever it gets included in F&O, is there a cooling off period before it gets eligible for Nifty? Does it have to be traded in F&O for 3 months, 6 months? Or the day it comes into F&O, it's eligible to get included in the Nifty at the next review. I ask you this because there are plenty of questions coming in on that. And if it wasn't for this F&O criteria, actually that would be the biggest candidate to get into the Nifty.
Yes, I tried, Nigel. So in terms of the stock fulfilling the criteria to get included in F&O, it definitely is. But this is something which is a subjective call. Taken by the concerned authorities whether to include a stock or not. He has rightly pointed out there isn't any cooling off period. The moment the stock gets introduced in, hypothetically, in a situation, if it gets introduced in F&O, it becomes eligible, a candidate to get included in Nifty 50. Even in terms of average float market cap and all, it's higher as compared to LTIMindtree at this point in time.
I just want to say one thing, that the pre-open indicates that we are going to be opening at all-time highs. Let's just have the Nifty up. Sriram, I'm just coming back to you. Look at the Nifty, 18,900 plus on the Nifty, according to the pre-open, which basically gets us above that 18,888 level, which is the prior high made in December of 22. So that's what we have. So it's going to be interesting as we open in the next, 6 minutes or so at 9:15. The pre-open in the Nifty indicating a new all-time high. Guys.
All right. Sriram, the other event that we're looking forward to is the MSCI changes, right, in the coming month or so. What are you factoring in terms of a rejig over there?
Sure. It's one of the keenly followed event, especially after the index provider decided to shift it to a more comprehensive one at the start of this year. So in terms of expectations of inclusions, our high potential inclusions would be Cummins India Kirloskar, Astral, Power Finance, and IDFC First Bank. So these four names, stands the strongest of the chances in terms of getting included in the MSCI India Standard Index. The other medium probability names would be Ashok Leyland and HDFC Asset Management. For both these names, a lot will depend on the price action in the run-up to the cutoff. One more name which I will have on my radar would be IndusInd Bank, because to everyone's surprise, the foreign room had opened up when the March shareholding disclosure was out. So foreign room will be a key monitorable here. Let's say if it opens above the threshold required for inclusion, this again will be a candidate that can become part of the MSCI Standard Index for August.
Okay, all right, Sriram, thanks so much for stopping by and giving us all those details. So expectations are LTIMindtree comes in place of HDFC Limited. You'll have JSW Steel that comes in place of HDFC Limited, but that's in Sensex. LTIMindtree comes in the Nifty. And also we could see a more or less neutral reaction on the HDFC twins. Mitesh.